it will draw a dotted line. It will draw a dotted line. So similarly, I have to do it for the other side as well. I can see a triangle. Now I will just hover down in the straight line, and now you can see both of these lines are shown. So that means I am exactly in the center of the box. Now this should be somewhere around whatever shaft diameter you want. Uh, this motor, I want it to be a 10 mm shaft diameter. I will now extrude it, and it will be like somewhere around 5 mm, should be more than enough. So here I will join it because I want the shaft of the motor to be joined with the motor. It should be one single body. So I am using as join. I will press OK. So now if I want to hide the base, I can hide the base. I still have the motor right. Now if I get ahead of the timeline, you can see the motor we now made as a mirror. It will also have the new shaft that we made. So this is how you can scrub back and forth between timeline, and the changes will be affected. So no matter if you make any mistake previously, you can correct that mistake later on. Okay, so I will rename this motor as motor underscore left. Motor underscore left, left. Okay. So what is the next important thing in a robot? After base is done, after motors are done, it's the wheels. So let's make a wheel. So where is the wheel? Wheel will be connected to this shaft. So I will select this shaft. And here I will create a circular wheel. So here I'm just making sure that wheels doesn't collide with the sides. So I guess 95 mm diameter wheels is perfect for this. I will finish the sketch. Here I can select it. If I want the wheel to have hollow inside, I can just select this one face. So if I extrude it now, it will have a hollow wheel like this. But if I also select this face, it will be a solid wheel like this. So depending upon your necessity, you can choose it. And I guess 25 mm thickness wheel is more than enough. Again, just make sure this operation is set to a new body, because we are making a new thing, new body. We are not joining it to the motor. New body. Okay. What is this? This is wheel height. Okay. There we have a wheel. Now I want to mirror this wheel. I will select the wheel. I will click on mirror. I will select the mirror plane. What is the mirror plane? I will zoom out so that I can see the origins of this. And this is my mirror plane, exact center. And now we have another wheel on the other side. Any doubts until now? It's a very basic design. If you're not getting it, please let me know, because it can be very difficult later on. So if you have any doubts until now, I can reconsider it.
Sir, can we do same thing by using timeline?
Same thing what?
Means that wheel is automatically added with the use of mirror.
No. So why not? Because at the time of mirroring, we only mirrored this thing. Like I said, motor. We didn't mirror the wheel. Wheel is a separate object that we are creating.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. There is one way to do it, but it will become complicated. I can show you if you want. So I will undo this. Okay. So now I'm not creating this wheel as well. Okay. I'm just going back, instead of undoing, just let's get back to the, yeah. Let's go back where we actually made the wheel. I guess the motor, sorry. Yeah. We have the motor now. So this is the future of the timeline. So I will just add a wheel. From this, I will make a circle of 95 mm diameter. I will select the faces. If you want to select multiple faces, please press Shift or Control. Press E to extrude it externally, and like 25 mm. This time while joining, I don't want join, I want it as a new body. Okay. Now if I take it one step ahead, you can see only motor is mirrored. So what I can do is I can right click on the mirror, edit feature. So what does it say? Edit feature, what type of it, what type of material or what type of thing I want to mirror? It is bodies. So these are all bodies. Mirror plane is also selected, but how many objects are selected? It says only one object. So I can select one more object. So I can just go over here. I want to mirror body as well as wheel. I guess it is not possible. It is showing me some error. Wait a minute. I will edit the feature again. I will deselect it. Yeah. Now objects, I want wheel and motor to be okay. Okay. No, you cannot edit feature. You can only select one while mirroring. So it is not possible. So there is one way you can do. You can just create one side of the robot and at the end you can just mirror them all one by one. So mirroring you can do at the end. I just wanted to show you how it will look. So that is the reason I made it like this. Okay. So now I guess this robot looks really good. If you want, you can add more things to it. So now obviously our robot won't sorry. Yeah. So obviously our robot won't balance on two wheels. It will need something to balance on. It can be a caster wheel. So a caster wheel is a thing, is a very smooth wheel that we can use if the robot wants to move along. So if you see robot caster wheels, they are small ball kind of structure. Yeah. So these are how caster wheels are available. Small balls that rotate freely so that the robot can move in all directions. So we are making something like this. Two wheels, a caster wheel in the front and the back, something like this. Okay, so let's make it. So we already have wheels. Let's make caster wheel at the bottom so that it can balance. It has something to balance on. So here, what I will do is create a sketch. Where do I create a sketch? I create a sketch at the bottom face. This is my bottom face. Now here, first I want to create mounting points for my caster wheel. So I want one mounting point over here. A 10 mm caster wheel is more than enough, and another mounting point over here. So one at the front, one at the back. Finish it. I will select this face, and again I will press Control on my keyboard and I will select this other face as well. So now these both faces are selected. If I wouldn't have pressed Control, if I select this face and if I select second face, that will become unselected. So to select both the faces, I am pressing Control. Both the faces are selected. Now I will extrude it by a little bit. How much? I guess 5 mm is more than enough. And this time I will join because this is a mounting point. This is not a caster point. This is just a mounting point for it so that we can mount it together. So let's say this is the mounting point is done. Now over this mounting point. So now we can see if I go into home position, we have things like this is the base of the robot. This base has the mounting points added to it. We have two motors, which is motor right and motor left. And we have two wheels, wheel right, wheel left. If I just want to work on base, I can work like this. If I just want to work on motors, I can just select these. I can deselect it. I can do whatever I want with these. If you want other motors to be added into your design, what you can do is, if I want this motor, I will just right click over here, insert into current design. But before doing that, it will give me error because you can only add that if this is saved. This should be saved. It is not saved currently anywhere. So I will save it. I will save it as FDP bot. Save it. Yeah. Now I will insert into current design. If I do this, This motor is inserted into current design. Now I can move it along wherever I want. So this is a very detailed motor. It has all the screw holes, it has all the gears inside. So you can use a detailed model like this, but as we are doing it at a very basic structure, that is the reason I am not showing you the detailed version. You can just make some basic geometric shapes and it will work the same. Okay, now we have the mounting points, but as you can see, if we draw a line somewhere over here, this doesn't touch because we still need a caster. So for making the caster, first we need to find the what is the height between this face and the tangent of the wheel. Why the tangent of the wheel is because our tangent of the wheel will be our floor, right? So how can I make a tangent to the wheel? I can construct, I will click on this and construct a tangent plane. So I want to construct a tangent plane. I will click over here and I will select this bottom face. So I'll just click on the bottom. See, a tangent plane is created. This is the yellow plane, which is tangent to this way. If I want to put it at some angle, I will put it. If not, I will just keep it at 0 degree and I will press OK. So now I have two faces. I have this one face and I have this second face. I want to measure what is the difference between it. Just by the measurements that I took previously, I guess it should be around 10 mm, but let's check. How can you check? You can use a tool called as inspect. So here in inspect, I can use measure. I want to measure distance between this plane. I'm selecting this plane and this small plane. Here it will print it. The distance is 10 mm. Here it will also show. So if you see right here, it is showing. Like this is the plane and this is the height is 10 mm. That's great. So now once we understand, if I want to hide this construction, I can just hide it over here. Or if I just want to hide this specific construction, I can click over here. So that in future, if we make any new construction, those will be visible, but this won't be. So now I will again go down. I will click on this face. Again, I will click on this face. Okay. And I will extrude them again. And this time it will be 10 mm because that is how much we want. But at this time, instead of joining, it will be a new body. These will be created as new bodies. Okay. And I will press OK. So now we have two casters. This will be the caster in front. Caster, sorry. This will be caster in back. Just make sure whatever name you give, please have it in the small letters. Don't keep any capital letters. Even the name of the robot that you are giving to save the file, please keep it lowercase, no uppercase characters, because whenever we convert it into URDF, it will create problems. So please make sure everything is in small case characters. Okay. Now, technically, everything is in place. These are touching the ground exactly as wheels, but obviously there is a huge surface area along which these are touching ground. So this will create a lot of friction, which is not good. So what I can do is I can create a curve. So just like the caster wheels that we saw previously, I can create fillet. So I will click on fillet. I will press control keys so that I can select multiple things. So this is the one fillet which I want to make. And this is another fillet here on this circle I want to create. And how much I want to create, I will just push it inside until it's a very clean, smooth semicircle. And I will press OK. So now this looks a lot more like the caster wheel. Understand? Now, if you see from the side, if this is the baseline, the red line, if this is the x-axis, our robot is below the x-axis, right? We want our robot to be above it. So how can I do this? I can select multiple of these using control okay, and press M to move. Now I can move this up. So I will just move it enough so that, yeah, it's touching the base. So we have moved it up by 15 mm. Now if you see, yeah, now the shadow is also grayed properly and everything is in place. So this is a basic robot. If I want to make it more advanced, I can make it. I can make multiple layers on it. So let's make it a little bit more fancy. We'll make multiple layers. This is the top layer I selected. I want some pillars on it. I will make a construction line and a circle. So this is my circle along which I want to make these small pieces, and I want it at 45 degrees. So if I make it at 45 degrees, at this point, it will be equidistant. So here, these pillars I want what in hexagonal shape. So I can make a circumscribed circle over here. Just make sure construction line is switched off. And here I want the thickness to be 2.5 mm. This is the radius, okay? This is radius. I will finish the sketch. I will extrude it. But instead of extruding, first I want it all along the circle. So what I can do is, I can go back to sketch. We are into the sketch mode. I will select this thing, select all 6 sides or select directly the sketch. I will go to create a circular pattern. It will ask me to select objects. Select all of these objects, which are the hexagonal lines. And what is the center point? The center point is this. Now it is asking how many I want. So it is by default 3. I will increase 4. So here you can see one hexagon is here, one is made here, one is made here, and one is made here. So it's good. I will press OK. Now I have got 4 hexagons. I can simply extrude each hexagon at a time. I'm pressing Control at the same time so that I select all the hexagons together. My Control key is still pressed. And now I will press E to extrude them. And if I will extrude them, let's say for about, yes, 4 centimeters. 4 is more than enough. I will join this to the actual base. I don't want it to be separate. So here is our complete base. Now I want one more layer on top of it. It can be anything. So what can we add? We can add a simple circle. So let's add a circle on it. I will make a circle on this. A huge circle like this. Complete. Finish sketch. I will select all these faces using Control key. I'll just hide the base for a moment so that I can select these hexagons as well. And I will extrude it. I will extrude it 10 mm. It should be more than enough. Yes. Now I want this to be above that, above the base. So I will take it somewhere over here. Great. It's looking really good. Now I want to combine these two things. I want to combine the base and I want to combine this. So I can just select base, whatever is your parent. Okay. So I want base to be the parent. So we'll select first base and then the child. Press Control and then select the other part. And here there is an option for combining. If you don't see an option over here, click on Modify, Combine. Combine, it will ask what should be the operation. Should it be join? Should it be cut? What do you want? So mine is join. I will join it. Now this is one single base. This is how you can make a complete robot that we can look like that looks like a Turtlebot. So what more was there in Turtlebot? Turtlebot 4. Let's see. Yeah, there is a LiDAR for navigation. There is a LiDAR. So let's add a LiDAR. So I want to add a LiDAR on top of it over here. Again, it will be a small LiDAR. So I guess 60 mm is more than enough for that as a diameter. Yes, I want a mounting base for the LiDAR. So I will first, what I will do is I will extrude a little bit of it. I will join it with the base, and then I will add a bigger LiDAR. So I will add 15 mm, and instead of joining, this will be a new body. So this is the LiDAR. So I will rename it as LiDAR. If you want, you can make it curved to look it fancy, add a fillet, something like this. It looks good. You can make it look like an actual LiDAR. So actual LiDARs look like the, this is an RP LiDAR. So it's your wish how you want it to look. But always make sure this is the front of the robot. This is the X, positive X. Now I want something on the top to keep some stuff on it. Like if I'm making a waiter robot, I want some edge on top so that I can keep things on it. So let's make something for that. So I will create one more sketch over here. I will make one more pillar, maybe two more pillars so that it has enough strength. 2 or 3, I guess, should be more than enough. This is 120 centimeter pillar. This is 120 centimeter 20 mm pillar. And I will make a line, construction line through the center. And I will make a mirror of this across. What is the mirror line? This is mirror line. There you go. I will select these. I should extrude this at certain height. Let's say 20 centimeters. There we go. Okay, this looks good. Now at the top, we want to make a circle once again. So I can select this. I can make a circle, however big or small you want. It's upon you. I will select the circle. I will extrude it a little bit, like 10 mm. It's more than enough, and I will join it. So now our LiDAR is able to see this much angle in the front. Remember, this X is the front. Everything should be with respect to that. So our LiDAR is able to see whatever is there in front. This back, due to pillars, it will block some rays, but we will we can remove those rays. I can just take it like a like 270 degrees. I want to see 275, maybe at an angle. We can do that later on. So now this is the robot. If you want to make it look fancy, you can do that. For example, if right now we have made it everything in one single type, but now if you look at it, if I right click on this and if I click on physical on properties, right click on the robot name, properties, and go into physical, here you see the mass is around 43,669 grams, which is equal to 43 kgs. So which is not actually correct. Like for a small robot like this, 43 kgs is not correct. Why is it so? So if I right click on each and every thing, see the physical material is set as steel. Even each and every small material is selected as steel. So what is happening is the CAD designing software thinks the complete robot is made of solid steel. And obviously, if this complete robot is made of solid steel, it will weigh around 43 kgs. But in real life, it won't be true. So what can we do? We can give it properties. So let's give it properties. Okay. So my base, I can right click. I can give physical material. I can click on physical material. Here I will have a bunch of different materials that I can give. Let's say if I want to make it of plastic, maybe 3D printing. So for 3D printing, ABS plastic is used. So I can just drag this and drop this on the base. So now you can see the base is converted to white color because that was the color of ABS plastic. I will close it. Now if I see the weight of this base properties, you can see it is changed to 5 kgs, which is now optimal weight, which is actually okay, fine. For motors, what is the current weight of motors? It is 900 grams. Yes, the motors are made of steel, they are heavy. So motor is okay. What is the weight of wheel? Let's go to properties. It's around 1.3 kg. Wheels are not that heavy. They are made of rubber. So let's change the physical material of wheels. So make sure go into wheels. We have some other materials or something miscellaneous. This is plastic. Yeah, in plastic you can find rubber. So I can just give rubber to this wheel, and on the next wheel also I will give rubber. Just drag it and drop it. Close it. Now if you see, first it was 1.3 kgs. Now if you see, it's 100 grams, which is right. That is usually the weight of wheels in robots. So it automatically gets these wheels, the weight property. Now if you might think, why do we need all these details? So if you see for the wheel, if I go in properties, here we can see there is center of mass, center of inertia, and moment of inertia. So all these things are auto calculated, and these things are needed for simulation. So these things are needed for the actual simulation of our robot. So whenever we are designing it, we should make sure that all the properties should be as close to real world as possible so that it simulates properly. Obviously, if you make a simulation of a 50 kg robot, and in real life if you just make a 5 kg robot, the properties won't work same, the robot won't work same. um, like for moving a 50 kg robot, you should have much more velocity, you should have much more torque, but in a 5 kg robot, even a small torque is able to move it. So that's the reason all these inertia and mass should be given properly. So we have given the base as a 3D printed thing. If you want, you can make it out of wood as well. So there is wood, I guess it is on the bottom. Yeah, wood. If I like the cherry wood, I can make it this complete thing of wood. How much weight it will be? Yeah, it will be of 2 kgs, which is even lighter than 3D printing, which is good. Let's make it of cherry wood. Okay, so we have it. We have the base of wood. Motors are made of steel. Wheels are made of rubber. What is caster wheel made of? Even caster wheels are usually made of steel, and these are really small. So let's check the physical material. Yes, it is steel currently. And let's check the properties. It is 5 grams, which is okay, equal to the real weight. So caster front and back both are steel, it's okay. Comes to LiDAR. What is the current weight of LiDAR? It is 300 grams. So usually a LiDAR weighs around 300 grams. It is a little bit more or less, but 300 grams is okay for a LiDAR. If you want, you can change the physical properties to plastic. It is if it is completely made of plastic. But whenever you are working with real robot, the main factor that you need to understand is the weight of wheels should be proper, the weight of the complete robot should be proper. So if I right click now on the complete robot name, and if I go to properties, physical, the complete weight of robots is 5.2 kgs now, 5269 grams. So it is more or less equal to the weight of the turtlebot. So let's check if there is any turtlebot 2 was there which was similar weight. Let's see what was the weight. Yeah, so the weight was around 6.3 kgs, and even we have around 5.27 kgs, which is almost equal. It had a little bit more electronics and stuff into it, so they made it that way. So it's more or less equal to the Turtlebot. So it's really good. Okay. So now we do have everything. Make sure to save your design. There is the save option. It's saved. Now, in the previous session, I showed you there are animations that we can do, animations and rendering. So let's try out rendering. Why do I need rendering? If I want to show it to some client, I should be able to show him that how it will look in real life. So right now it doesn't look like a very realistic model. But what I can do is I can, I have two options. I can render it on my machine or I can render it on a cloud machine. So rendering on, if my machine is very powerful, I can do it. But right now I don't think it is good to do it. So let's have it render in a cloud engine. So cloud, what it will do is, let's set a angle something like this. Okay, I like this area. Even here you can see there is a reflection of steel. This looks like a wood. This looks like rubber. I will click on render. Here I will select how much this I want, how much dimensions I want. So I want it like I can put it on a website. Maybe 1.3 megapixel is more than enough. I want to do it on cloud render. If you want to do it on your machine, just press local render. Local render won't take anything from you. But if you are doing it on cloud render will take some credits from you. So whenever you create an account, you are given certain number of credits. Okay, so I have 94 credits remaining, and for doing this cloud render, it is just asking me for one credit. One is required. I have available 94. After this thing, only 93 will be left. What should be the render quality? Standard is like okay kind of quality, and final is very good quality. So I want to take final, and how much time it will take? It will take less than 20 minutes. So I say okay, render. It is submitting. Okay, so now what it will do is it will take this exact camera view that we have set over here, and it will start rendering it. It will render it on cloud, so I don't have to keep my machine over here occupied. I can do whatever else I want. I can add multiple renders at one time. Okay, so let's give it some time. It will submit itself. Yeah, and I can close it. So here you can see it is rendering that scene. If I want, I can edit the environment as well. So if I want to show like how this robot will look in a warehouse, so this option, scene settings, click on this, and there is an environment library. So here, if there is a agricultural robot that you want, you can put it in field, you can put it somewhere else. It's upon you. So but go into settings, background. It's currently at solid color, so I can change the background to red. If I want, all the background will be red. But instead of solid color, what I want is I want it an environment. So I will select environment, and in environments, these are all the environments I have. I want it field. I can just drag and drop it over here. Okay, once I drag and drop it, it will take some time to load, and there we have it. I will just close this. I have my robot in the field. I can just rotate it something like this, and I can show it how it will look in the field. I have a complete 3D model, so I can just drag and drop it wherever I want. So where will this be used? This will be used in a restaurant kind of environment, right? So let's put it in a restaurant kind of environment. But here in environment, there are very limited environments that you can use. So where can you find more environments? So if you Google, there is a place called as HDRI. HDRI Heaven. It's now renamed as Poly Heaven, but previously it was HDRI Heaven. And here you will find HDRIs. So HDRIs are the environment. Okay. So I will click on browse HDRI. So now I want this robot to be somewhere indoor. So here I have options like indoor. It's like a normal search engine. and I can have something like a house. So let's take a, this looks good, Christmas photo, Christmas studio. So it's a complete environment that we can put it in. So if I want to watch it in 3D, I can click 3D. Okay, this only works in Chrome. I will put it in Chrome and see it. Just a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I will put it in 3D. So now I can see. So this looks like a good environment. I can place my robot somewhere over here near the sofa or something. And this will be a good photo to capture for a render. There is one more thing you can do. Again, I will go to HDRI Heaven. Now Poly Heaven. If I want a restaurant, RESTAU restaurant, there we have it. I will click on 3D. So now I can view the restaurant in 3D. It looks good. So I can place any robot over here and it will be look like it is serving something. So let's take this. So it is just 25 MB. So I will download it. So it is being downloaded. Done. Now to put it over here, I will go into scene settings, environment library. Okay. And here I will attach custom environment. Now let's browse to where I have downloaded it. So here you can see Bush Restaurant 4K HDR. I will open it. Okay, it will take some time to get uploaded. Until then we can wait, or else we can see the rent. Yeah, it's done. Now if I go to settings, I can just, yeah, I can orient it properly. If I want more focal length, I can just increase like a perspective view. Yeah. So usually the cameras we use have a focal length of 30 mm. I can just place it somewhere like this. And yeah, this looks good to me. I can render this as well. So once I'm happy with the position and everything, I can click render. All these remains the same. Click on render. It will submit. I will close. Let's place it somewhere else as well. Yeah, on that table over there. I will keep it somewhere over there. Yeah. Yeah, this looks good. I will render it. Render. And where are these renderings stored? So again, these renderings are on cloud. So if I click over here, render gallery, this is the first render that we provided. It's almost done. So if I open it, see, this was the render. So it has an actual wood texture. It has actual this thing, steel texture for the LiDAR. If I want to download, I can download it as a PNG. Do I need a transparent background or not? It's upon you. If you want to put it on website with nothing in the background, you can select this. If you want the background, you can download it as a PNG. Now it will be downloaded on my PC. It will ask where you want to save. Let's save it on desktop and I will open it. Wait a minute, on desktop. Yeah, there we have it. This is the thing that we rendered. I can zoom in, I can see all the details. So these are just images. Okay, now one more image that we did. Yeah, I will download it as an PNG, and also I will download this one, the first one. Yeah, again, this will be on desktop, save. I want to download this with a transparent background as a PNG. There is some error in this. Let's see what was the error. Your rendering could not be rendered because an error occurred. So again, we can put one more rendering if we want, or we can close it. I guess there is one which is being made. That is more than enough. Yeah, this is there. So it looks like it is actually in the environment. Okay, so yep, this is how it looks. There is one more with a transparent background. Yeah, so this gray thing, it's like a transparency thing. So if you put it somewhere, it will be transparent. So even here I can send the background, I guess. Yeah, I guess general, yeah, window background if I want, right? So it is completely transparent. Okay, so yeah, you can put it on websites or places like this. So we have used a lot of these renders on the website of TortoiseBot. So I will show you a couple of things. TortoiseBot. Yeah. So this was a this was a render which was transparent. So due to transparency, you can see it is created like this. Even this was transparent. Then are there any more? Yeah, this was a white, I guess. Apart from that, I will show you some of the. Excuse me. Yes, I was saying that there are a lot of places where these renders can be used. So I will show you a couple of renders that we have made. If you go on to Rigbital Labs, if you see this post, so again, the restaurant that I showed you, this is a render. This is a design made by one of our student who was studying Ross mentorship, and this is designed by him. This robot is made by him, but this is a render. This is a CAD design put into a render. Then do we have more renders over here? Yeah, this is one of the render, transparent render of the robot. Then yes, so there are one more thing. One of our client, Technoyantra, we made some renders for them. Yes. So this is not an actual warehouse. This is not an actual robot. This is just a CAD design designed in Fusion 360, and it is being shown like it is picking up boxes from warehouses. This is a complete render. It is being shown like these boxes have been picked up and it is going somewhere else taking those boxes. You can see the shadow actually matches like the environment. So that was one render. I guess I have a couple of more. Let me see. Mhm. Okay, I don't have this on my, all of those on my PC, but it's okay. But you get the idea that this is how renders can be created, and this is one of the best renders that we created. It looks really original, and it looks like a real robot. So now once you understand rendering how it works, now let's look at the animation thing. So in the morning there was question asked by Pramod sir saying, can we all the explosion and things, is it manually done or is it automatic? So there are both the ways to do it. But while working with animation, you can see there is no components that you can see. There is only just one robot. So for working with animation, you need to convert the bodies into components. So let's get back into design side. This was the robot that we made, right? So all of these are bodies. This comes into bodies, okay? But we need to convert it into components. So for converting into components, you have to just right click on the bodies and click create components from bodies. It will convert all the bodies to components. But before doing that, please note, whenever you are doing any modifications, please do it in the bodies mode. So right now I am totally happy with this robot. I do not want to make any changes to this robot. Hence, I am converting into components. If I am not sure if I am going to change the design or not, then don't convert it into components. Make everything into bodies. Align everything properly. So just make sure it is aligned properly. Make sure it is in the center of the arena. Everything is in bodies. There are no different components or anything like that. Just make that sure. Okay. If you want to add more electronics like Raspberry Pi and stuff, you can add it over here. You can place it wherever you want. And one more important thing, the base of the robot should be always named as base underscore link. This is one of the important rules, that the base of the robot should be named as base underscore link. Everything in small letters. Okay, so I've done all the modifications. I've changed it into, I've changed the material, I've changed the weight, I have changed how it looks. I am happy with all the positions and everything. Now what I will do is I will right click on bodies and I will click on create components from bodies. Now everything is created into components. See, these are separate components that are created. There is no section for bodies now. Each and everything is a separate component. So now if I save it, if I go to animation, now I can see different components. Previously it was not visible. So now I have all the components. Now I will get, this is the animation timeline. So here I can tell it what to do, how to do. So I will take it to the 0th second. Here you can see what second it is. I will remove whatever it is there. And at the 0th position, I will select what camera angle I want. So let's say I want camera angle something like this. In the beginning, I want this. Then after 2 seconds, or during these 2 seconds, I want this camera angle to move like this or something like this. I can just so it will create an animation automatically. Let's create one more thing. After 4 seconds, I want the camera panning like this. And after 6, I want it to be like this. So now if I play the animation, you can see so it has created all the steps in between autonomously. Okay, now after 6, what I want is until 10 seconds, I want it to explode. So here if I click on transform, auto explode all levels. So it says no available components for exploding. So first select the components. I will select it all one by one. Now I will click on transform, auto explode all levels. So it will ask what type of explosion do you want. So I can like select how big the explosion I want it to be. See, it's at the bottom stage where everything is very close to each other, and this is like a very, they are all taken apart. So in auto explosion, it doesn't know. So in this case, see, this wheel is being taken out, this is being taken out, this wheel is being moved down, and this motor has been taken out. But it is automatic. You don't have to do anything. So it's automatic however you want. Okay, and once it is done, I can save it. I can place tick mark, and I will play this animation. So you can see. So auto explosion is a shortcut, but sometimes it works very well. Sometimes it doesn't work really well. So at that time, but if you are in a hurry, if you just want to show all the components that are there, then you can do this. But if you don't have, if you have enough time, you can make an explosion of your own. How can you make an explosion? So currently we have moved our parts. Now I can move this parts one by one. So I know I want this motor and wheel to be moved somewhere over here. I will just wait a minute. Yeah. I will select right motor, right wheel. I will move it. Wait a minute. I will select right motor, right wheel. I will move it in this direction. Press OK. And even I want wheel to be more outside, so I can keep it somewhere over here. Similarly with the left motor, left wheel, I want it to explode in this direction. I want wheel to be more outside, so I will take it over here. I want LiDAR to be brought forward and a little bit up, and the caster wheels, caster front back, I want them to go down, and this looks okay. So now if I play the animation, you can see first it is rotating. Yeah, and after this it will explode. See? If I want it to explode during the rotation, then what I can do is I can move these bars behind. So this is like the motion part. So this is the camera angle. So there you can see the camera view, and here you can see if I want to extend the duration to 6 seconds, I can do it.
ಏನ್ರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ರಿ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್
Okay, so now let's see the animation. I will play it from starting. So see, everything is exploding, and at the same time everything is
ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಂತ
coming down. If I want, now if I want it to be come back to the original position, I can click on transform. Okay, I will first select all the components. I've selected all the components. Click on transform and click on restore home. So here they have restored home. Everything is come back.
Sir, there are little bit disturbance, please.
Dr. Revana, can you please mute yourself? I guess. Is there any admin on the call? Can they please mute Dr. Revana? Is there any admin on the call who is managing? Because I don't have permission to mute him. Okay, so let's go ahead. So as I said, it has restored home. So if I now play the animation, and it comes back onto the original position. So now if I like this animation, I can save it as a video. Here you can select what is the resolution that you want. So I want it as a 1080 pixel resolution. I will press OK. It will ask the file format. I want it as MP4. Where do I want it? I don't want it to save on a cloud. I want it to save on my computer in my downloads folder. So see, it is
ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಎಬ್ಬರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕಿ ನಾವು
if I go into
ಚಾಟ್
my
ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಚಾಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ ಅದು.
so this is the video that we have got. We can use this video for any of the work.
ಇದು ಆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅರ್ಧ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಫುಲ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್.
Hello. Is there any admin on the call who can mute Dr. Revana?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮರ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ರೂಮ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ನಂಬರ್.
Is there any admin on the call? Anyone
lock
from the
ಮಾಡಿ.
organizing team? Okay, better. Yeah. So now we have like the animation over here. If you want, you can do complex animations. You can make things on your own. So I have a couple of animations that I could show you. that I created for some of the clients. I guess, where was it? Yeah, it was the warehouse robot or a library robot. Yes. So this was one of the video that we made. It's being played over here. Just give me a moment. In Technoyantra. Yeah, library bot. I will just download it on my computer so that we can view it together. Is there any other video that I can show you? I guess separator is okay. Yeah. Until the time we get these videos downloaded. So this was it for the designing part. So we have almost made the robot design. We all have the components in place. We have all the parts of the robots in place. We have the what we say, the weights and everything, mass in proper way. Now the only thing which is remaining is to convert this into URDF so that we can simulate it. And it's a really simple procedure that we will be seeing in the next session at 2:30 p.m. Until now, are there any doubts? Sir, or how many, just a minute, I will read the question in the chat. How many days Fusion Online account is active for us? So I guess they have, if you are using a personal account, if you are not earning money from Fusion 360, it is completely free for you. If you are using an education account, it is free for 1 year. So it's like 365 days. And after that also, if you are still teaching somewhere, you can update the license. So what you can do is, I have my education license here at the top. You can see it says education license when I'm using it. So the reason why I'm using education license is I am getting iCard from the college every year for being a faculty over there, for being a mentor over there. So I can update my ID card of the college as a faculty every year on the Fusion Autodesk account. So if I update it, it will say that, okay, I was faculty between the year 2021 to 2022. So between this year, Fusion 360 will be free for me. If next year also I am a faculty, my faculty license will be increased by 1 year. So you have to update it every year, but it is free if you are a faculty or an educational person. Any other doubts? So technically, Fusion 360 is only and only paid for industrial people. For students, it is completely free. For faculties, it is completely free. If you are an hobbyist, if you are doing it as a hobby, you are not earning money from Fusion 360, you are not selling your designs or anything, you are doing it as a hobby, then it is free. Even in hobby license, they have given some kind of regulation that if you are earning less than $1,000 a month, then it is free for you. If you are using it, and if you are earning $1,000 plus using the designs, only then you have to pay for the subscription cost. If it is less than $1,000, it's completely free. Yeah. So I guess the videos are downloaded. Let's have a look at some of the videos that we made. So here it was a robot that can be used in library. So let's consider there is a book. So we explained that there will be a suction mechanism. It will check the QR code. It will pick it. It will hold the book so that all the pages of the books are closed properly. This was one video. There was another video like how it will be like stacking this. So there will be a rotating mechanism like this. So, and there will be a small rotatory arm over here with a camera on top. So it can pick up any book it wants If it wants first book, it will slide it autonomously. It will grab it and it will go and place it in the section. So this is how you can place. This was made for a library. So this is the same robot that I shown to you on Instagram on Technoentra's channel. This is the robot, if you wish to see. And this is the render. Next thing we will be learning is autonomous navigation and stuff like that. So this is the gazebo of the same robot. This robot is being controlled manually right now. So in upcoming sessions, we will be learning this. Any doubts? Any other doubts?
Sir, you had just you could explode it automatically. In the last one, you explode it manually, correct? So
Yes.
that everything can be.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
So even not just explosion, but as you saw in the library bot video I showed, I can have each and every joint animate on its own. So that is also what you can do. So it was a very big timeline that I made. Inside it, I controlled each and every joint. Even you can make animations like that.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
So now in the next session, let's meet after 1 hour after the lunch break, and we will be making a URDF of this robot and simulating it. If anyone wants access to this design, I can provide it to you right now. I can share a link. I'm not keeping any password. There you go. So this is just, if you want to view it, you can have a look at it. Okay, thank you very much, and let's meet after an hour.